Namaste. Welcome to Asamanya Ordinary People in Ordinate Journey. I'm your host and host Smita Iyengar, and I'm connecting to you from Finland. Today on Asamanya, we have a writer, a lyricist, an RJ, a content creator, Pradyumna Narahalli. So, Pradyumna, welcome to the show. How are you doing
Yeah,
today?
thank you so much. Brilliant. Thank you for the opportunity. It's so glad to catch up with you.
Same here, same here. So just now I was telling that you're a lyricist, you're a content creator, you're a writer, and RJ. So, but is there something that I skipped? I think I skipped the main part that you were a businessman now. So, how
Yeah.
did this, can I say Sakala Kala Vallabha? And how did this
Yeah.
go through?
Yeah. I mean, my mom keeps saying that, you're becoming like a jack of all. And then I added, like, you should change the ending. It's not master of none, it's master of some.
Some, yeah.
Yeah, jack of all, master of some. So, yeah, I mean, I feel life is like a river. You just need to go the way life takes you. And it's important. It's important that we learn new things every day and we adapt to situations and enjoy whatever we do. That's important. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, Pradyumna, if I have to ask you, how did this journey, from being an engineer and then, working in IT and then you jumped onto the creative field, how did this happen? What motivated you or what made you jump into this field?
All right. Uh, it's been, I think the germ started when I was in second standard.
Oh,
I think that was my first hit play on stage, wherein people were clapping for me for my performance, and then I felt that this is a high, and this is unbeatable. So I just need to get more and more claps at the end of the day.
hmm.
So I've been part of theater from my school days, and I think I started doing mimicry when I was in PU,
Okay.
and engineering was fun. I mean, like I spent more time in cultural activities than doing my studies, I think so. But my mother always wanted an FCD from me and my dad as well. So FCD was for my parents, and then I was doing my cultural activity. So at the end of engineering, I realized that I don't want to be a mechanical engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer, by the way.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
then I got placed as a campus placement. I got placed in an IT company. I
Mhm.
joined there. Within 3 months, I realized that I don't want to be in an IT professional, and I want to get back to my creative field, and I need to build a career for myself. My
Okay.
parents were very supportive, so they were like, please go pursue your passion and do whatever you want to. Then I had a mentor who was teaching mime for us in college. So he suggested that I should be doing MBA
Mm-hmm.
in media so that I can spread my wings and go wherever I want to. So I did my MBA in media and communication, specialized in advertising.
Mm-hmm.
So that was in symbiosis. After that, I wanted to, like, make a name for myself in the creative thing.
Okay.
So I started exploring opportunities, and wherever I got an opportunity, I've been going through that. So I've been doing quite a few things ever since. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So now lately you said you were taking care of your dad's business and then you are now a businessman completely. So do you
Yeah.
find, yourself tied up into it or, you enjoy doing this business thing as well? And
Well, my dad actually had taught me long back that whichever field you get into, you need to know in and out of that, and there is nothing called like job etiquette or job principle. Like I'm a white collar job guy, and I'm not supposed to do something else. It's never that, and especially in a creative field, if you're getting into television or movies or whatever, you need to do everything right from set work to, and we come from theater, so
yeah.
it's not just we come on stage and we act. We also do our set work, we also clean the stage, we also sweep the stage, we also do mopping, like everything,
Mhm.
right from ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಗಾದೆ ಇದೆ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಳಗಬಲ್ಲವನು ಅರಸಾಗಬಲ್ಲವ ಅಂತ. So
Absolutely.
unless you become a slave, you can't become a king. So
Yeah.
you need to do everything. So I enjoy whatever I do. I enjoy. So this business thing started post COVID. I lost my dad in COVID. So
Okay. Sorry.
unfortunately, my life took a 360-degree turn in a matter of a week.
Mhm.
So I had to take over the business. More for an emotional reason for my dad, I took over. because
Mhm.
those were the last few words which I spoke with dad. That was only business because we expected him to come back very soon. So
Yeah.
we were discussing what if he doesn't go to office for 2 3 days, what will happen. So I was we were discussing only that, and then we never spoke again. So I took over for emotional reasons, and it's been 4 years now. So I'm
Nice.
trying to automate it and trying to figure out a way to get back to my creative field. Yeah.
Okay, so are you actually using your creative ideas of advertising in your business?
Uh, yeah, I think I'm using more of my engineering skill sets. I
Okay.
think so. Because in engineering, we study the previous night and we perform the next day and we somehow clear through our exams. So there's a very famous saying for all engineers: unless your ass is on fire, the rocket won't launch.
Yeah.
So business was that. I mean, it was new to me and I learned it. Hopefully, I think I've learned it quite quick, and I've been managing it.
Mhm.
And advertising, yeah, I mean, it's not just the creative part of it. I mean, it's not just designing a poster or designing an ad or writing a script for an ad. It's never that. It is more about understanding humans, human emotions, understanding personalities, interacting with them, and communication. Basically, like we need to understand what the other person wants and we need to cater to that want.
Okay.
So if we can crack that, I think it's all the same. So me being a creative guy right now, I draw a lot of parallels between business and a role of a student in a college, a media personality or a software guy. I draw a lot of parallels that it's all the same. It's all a game of demand and supply. You need to understand what's in demand, and you should be able to supply whatever is in demand.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's fun
Yeah.
managing.
Yeah, true. So, Pradyumna, when you are actually doing this creative field and business together, right? So, what is it, like, do you tend to take off something from the other side here or this side there, or like, do you get mixed up? Do you get, like, okay, I should not be doing this. I should continue with one particular thing. Do you get that kind of thought?
No. So we need to. I'd say that my career has been very interesting. Like I've been changing fields a lot. Like I did my engineering, mechanical engineer, and then got placed in Accenture, did software. I got trained in mainframes, got posted in testing, mainframe testing.
Yeah.
I quit that. I did my MBA in media, specialized in advertising. Wanted to be a copywriter. I joined an ad agency, then a newspaper, then a television channel. I was in fiction team doing non-fiction, and I was doing events.
Okay.
That's how it's been. I mean, I've never done a job restricting only to my designation per se. So wherever there's a need, wherever there was an opportunity, I think I've stepped up to it, and then I've performed quite well.
Mm.
So that's been my journey ever since, like like right from my college days, I should say. So the same thing's being applied here. So when I became a businessman, I get to meet a lot of characters.
Yeah.
So I also, so it's also an experience for me that I understand the business angle of things. So in the creative field, you just can't be creative. You also need to understand economics, and you
Yeah.
also need to
True.
understand how money works,
Yeah.
because most of our scripts are dependent on budgets. So being a businessman right now, I think it's empowered me to understand profit loss statement better, understand balance sheets better,
Yeah.
and I think that should help my creative field a lot. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
taking things very positively, and it's helping me. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I actually, whenever I see your, how do I say, the WhatsApp status or some small lines, like single liners, what you write and the taglines, what you write and, all
Mm.
that. I always notice one word, Panchaprana. Where did this come from?
So I wanted to have a pen name per se, because my name is Pradyumna Narahalli. Pradyumna itself is a tongue twister, so many of them find it difficult to pronounce it. Narahalli is my uncle, so that's his pen name almost. So people recognize by the name Narahalli with him. So I wanted to create a brand for myself,
Okay.
and I was looking for a word, and then I like the name Panchaprana. One, it means that Panchaprana. I mean, it's very
Yeah,
close to
right.
heart, very nice, and it has Prana, Prana. That is Pradyumna Narahalli,
Oh,
Prana,
yeah, right, right.
and I'm known for my puns, so it is Pancha. So yeah,
Okay.
so that's how
So,
Pancha.
okay, it
It is
didn't seem,
Pancha. Prana.
Yeah.
Pra is Pradyumna, Na is Narahalli. So Pancha Prana, it has everything.
Okay,
So that's
nice.
the hidden.
So now that you are actually explaining or, like breaking it down, we see there are so many
Yeah,
layers into it. But I was like, okay,
yeah,
Pancha Prana. So the thing is like you said, like Pancha Prana, like it's like very close to your heart. That
correct, correct.
something
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I
yeah,
thought it could be. But okay, there's so
correct.
many layers to it. So this is exactly what I
Yes,
mean, like when I say I like somebody's writing and when I
yeah,
notice these things. Now, these are the
yeah.
ones, that catch your attention. And I think this is like amazing. And what, according to you, now,
Right.
if I have to ask you, now, this is something that I noticed, but then what, according to you, is the best of your work?
I like one of the lines which one of my bosses keep telling: "The best is yet to come." It's always your next project which is the best. That's what we need to believe in. But of course, looking back at my journey, we also need to pat our back once in a while. Uh, there's one project which I'm actually proud of, or probably what people recognize is Weekend with Ramesh.
Oh,
That's been one show which has been like life transforming for me, um, because it's like doing one episode is reading one biography.
right.
So I think I've
Right.
done 3.5 seasons of that, and I've got to meet a lot of personalities, and listening to their stories, understanding them, presenting it in a way people like it. It transformed me as a person because. After doing weekend, I mean, there are two phases to my life: before Weekend with Ramesh and post Weekend with Ramesh. Post Weekend with Ramesh, I'd say that uh, I can face failures better. I can face disappointments better,
Okay.
and I can face setbacks better. So it's been very inspiring to me, and yeah, that's one work which I think I'm very proud of.
Very nice, very nice. So this weekend with Ramesh, if I can ask you specifically what exactly you contribute with this show, I just want that, because the people who are in front of the camera are always noticed and, their work shows
Yeah,
up and things. But people who work in the background, they are
correct,
kind of hidden all the time. So what exactly
correct.
is your contribution in this show, if I have to ask you?
Yeah, I started with season two actually. So Weekend with Ramesh season one was a hit already. I was in fiction team, but then because of my writing, I think I was asked to take up this job. So I joined as a talkback and script writer for Ramesh sir.
Okay.
There's a director and there's a research team. There's a guy who's heading the research team, and I work closely with the research team and the research head who goes out there, collects all the information of the celebrity or the achiever. They dig up their lives, get in all the information, and then we, director and the research head, we sit together and then we curate the content because it's a life's journey, and we
Yes.
need to filter everything and bring it down to 1 hour. 1 hour telecast is like 46 minutes of actual content, which will also include
Absolutely.
coming up everything. So if it's 1.5 hours, also it is like 69 minutes. So we curate it and then we divide it into segments, and we figure out a way or figure out a creative way of presenting a particular episode of their lives. So my job was to do the scripting part of it, like how do we present the episodes and how do we get in the celebrities, how to get in the surprise relatives, friends, or whatever.
Yeah.
And what stood out for me particularly was that me and Ramesh sir were working closely. That
Beautiful.
we wanted to convey an inspiring message at the start of the episode and the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So that was where I used to take a lot of pride. I wanted to make a mark for myself or put in my stamp on the show. So we used to come up with different ways to express or different ways to present the achiever's achievement in the initial part. At the end of the episode, we used to listen to their life story and we should take key takeaways and make a one liner or a single paragraph, a very motivational thing. So I think season 2 and season 3, the end messages became viral, and people used to love that part and people used to wait for that part. So that's where I take some pride that I could do a lot of good contribution in that sense. Yeah, so that's what I
Awesome.
used to do.
Awesome. Awesome. That's
And
actually, I
also,
mean,
I used to do talk back for Ramesh sir. So the generally anchors would have an earpiece, and it's basically two brains working
yeah.
along. working together against one person. So yeah, so whomever we give talk back to, we need to be them, we need to be their brain, and we need to assist them. So it's a 50-50 contribution from our end and the anchors end. Yeah.
Wow, I think this is actually amazing. And now, if I have to, quickly ask you if you can write some tagline, let's say for Asamanya, what would it be?
For Asamanya.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just
Ah,
asking.
nice. You can. I mean, we generally what we do is like we have an exercise. What we do generally.
Yeah,
So whenever there are a few techniques which we figure out over a period of time, like to how to crack a tagline or how to crack a line. So I'll just run through that so that the viewers also could be like benefited out of that. So the idea is, see, the thing is it's Asamanya. So the easy go-to technique for me is to dissect the word and see if we can crack something out of it. I'm thinking out aloud now. Samanya, Asamanya. So Samanya Janara, Asamanya Kate is a very
wow.
it's one line which can top the mind. But generally, there is a line which we say that the first line which you get is generally cliche and you should not take it. So you should think more. You should
Yeah,
dig in more.
yeah, but
So try to dissect and we try to come up with it. So right now you're in Finland, right?
yes, I'm in Finland.
Yeah. So it's like, and you're talking to people in India. So, Simo Langanada Asamanya Kate.
Wow, this is
Okay.
like was quite quick.
Okay, so basically, we all have our thresholds.
Yeah,
When we are when generally what is achievement? So achievement is generally when somebody tries to cross the threshold and try to achieve something which
yeah,
other
true.
people get scared of or get scared of the risk associated with it. So
Absolutely.
crossing the threshold is a very key aspect in anybody's achievement actually. So
Yeah,
Simo Langana is one is the actual geographical border we can talk
yeah,
about, and
true.
then it's also the threshold of each person which you can come
Yes,
up with.
yes.
So yeah, I mean this is so we try to bring in the meaning later.
Again, the
So
layers.
yeah. So we try to come up with more of such ideas, and then we sometimes we write 5, 10, 15, 20,
True.
like I
Absolutely.
think one of the example is Num Radio. So there's a
Yeah,
tagline ನಮ್ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರಿ ನಮ್ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಕನ್ನಡ ಕೇಳೋ ಮಜಾನೇ ಬೇರೆ.
true.
So that tagline, I wrote the tagline. But before we came up with that tagline, I think I wrote around 120 of them. Uh,
Okay. Okay.
so I wrote 120, I filtered it out, and then I presented around 70 to the team. And then we discussed, and everybody felt this is nice. And then we zeroed in on that. So that's how it is. So we just don't stop at one, two, three. Like, you keep
True,
writing,
true.
writing, writing. Somewhere something sparks and, something connects to everybody. And then we try to stick with that. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think what according to you is actually difficult, writing a single line like a tagline or writing, an entire lyrics for the song or writing some paragraphs or writing a poetry or which according to you is like most difficult one?
Mm, I think each one has its own pros and cons. Each one has its own benefits and ease and difficulties associated with it. But generally, the shorter the lines, difficult it is,
True.
because it has to be simple and you'll have to convey a lot of things in as many small uh, duration, time, letters, length, everything. So that is generally tougher. When you have more space, more length, and more duration, you'll be able to express your ideas in a much better way. Because the first sentence, if it's not conveying, at least the second
Like,
sentence will
yeah.
manage, and it will cover up. Because the shorter it is, then it has to be on the tee. It has to hit the nail on the head. Otherwise, it
Exactly, right? Yeah.
misses the communication. So
True.
shorter ones are generally difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Even I felt that. Actually, I don't know if you have already noticed, Asamanya has a tagline like ordinary people in ordinate journey. So this
Correct.
was also, like you said, we did not write like many. It was just the first
Correct.
one, and the first one we,
Okay.
and that's about it.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there are many ways to do it. I just
Yeah,
said, but generally, yeah, this is the thing. But the most of the times, in the creative field, we're always chasing deadlines. So, we get the
absolutely.
brief the previous day, and then we are expected to deliver the next day. It's very difficult that sense. So that time the iterations go low.
Yeah,
So in place
true.
of five, we write three, and then we try to freeze in on that. But it's okay. I mean, it's there's no that's the beauty of creative field actually. There's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
right and wrong. There's
yeah,
we just have perspectives. Yeah,
yeah. And so
as long as people are
now that
loving it, it's
yeah, now that we spoke about deadline, so how do you actually deal with it? Because I know that creativity can't work with deadline, like you can't really think, okay, now this has to be ready. And somewhere, you won't be satisfied with your work when you're trying to satisfy your client. So how do you
yeah.
deal with it?
That's a major professional hazard which we go through. There's a major conflict which we go through. So we pick and choose projects. Few we do it for money, few we do it for heart, few we do it for soul. Sometimes all three comes together. Those are our dream projects. Not every project will have heart in it. Not every project will have soul in it. Not every project will have money in it. So that's how it is. We need to go through the motions, and we need to keep working hard. So it's very important for us to take timely breaks so that we rejuvenate ourselves, recharge our creative cells and get back on field. And deadlines are part of the professions. I mean, you can't
Yes,
avoid it.
yes.
But even if we get a very comfortable deadline also, the first 15 example, if we get a deadline of 30 days, the first 20 days we hardly work. We claim to be
Yeah,
thinking and we do a lot of things, but we won't. Only the final 10 days or the final 5 days or the final 2 days is what we actually sit together and focus and we deliver. So it's all there. So
yeah,
we can't just complain about deadlines, but it's important that we get enough room so that we can do more iterations.
yeah.
So yeah, that's important.
True. Actually, like you said, Yuddha Kale Shastrabhyas, or for many people, it might be like, Yuddha Dalle Shastrabhyas also.
Correct. So I think the start of the our conversation, I told you what engineers say. Unless
Yeah.
your ass is on fire, it won't take off. So it's important that we keep the launching pad warm, hot, and then we need to keep our creative cells up and running. Because if we can put in the same effort, same intensity for all 30 days, great work can come out. So it's very important we do that. So that's what we keep, like, try to keep ourselves motivated and keep pushing ourselves every day. Sometimes we feel tired, we don't do. Sometimes we do. So yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully
So,
we do
yeah,
good stuff.
now if I have to ask you, your advice to the younger generation who want to pursue this, like who want to get into the creative field, should they not? What should they keep in mind if they have to get into this? And where should they break down? And what should they not do to get into this?
We can speak weeks together about this topic. This is one of the life questions of everybody. Like, what am I doing in life types?
Yeah.
So, so yeah, there's a concept called ikigai in Japanese.
Mhm.
That it is a very famous thing, and I think that applies very well for choosing a profession. Like, you
Yeah.
need to be good at what you do. You need to love what you do, and it has to get you money,
Yeah.
and it has to be something good for the society and the world. So these are the things which ikigai conveys. So most of the times, creative field won't get you money. So that's why people
Yeah.
move out and try to choose something else which can get them money. But that won't give them satisfaction. So that's why they're always earning to get back to the creative field. So you
Yes.
need to strike a balance. You need to strike a balance of earning and managing your responsibilities, and satisfying your own creative soul and sharpening your skills. That's important. So it's very important that each one of us or the youngsters actually identify what they are good at.
Hmm.
Mm, uh, Basically, it's very difficult to understand what they're good at, because I always wanted to be a cricketer and I was good at it, but I was not good enough to be an international cricketer because I was not focusing
Right.
on my fitness.
Right.
So it's very important that you identify that what you are good at or what you are best at. So I never thought I'd be a writer. I used to do stand-up shows, stand-up comedy, and I used to do mimicry in college. So I used to write my own scripts. So I wanted to be a performer, but I used to write my script so well that people started appreciating for my content, and over a period of time, I got opportunities for my writing than performance. So then I became a writer. But the heart always says that you should get on stage and you should perform and you should get those claps which actually motivated you to get to the creative field. So yeah, we try to look for opportunities to get on stage and try to get a name or something like that. And sometimes we do get an opportunity to be part of a podcast, and yeah, our name comes out, and then we hope that we get enough appreciation out of it. Yeah, that's how it works.
Of course, of course. And you just mentioned mimicry now. I can't let you go without mimicking someone now.
Ha! I mean, I stopped it after a while because I was forgetting my own voice because at some point I was actually trying to get out around 50 voices, and then I had
Oh,
stopped, recognizing my own voice. I used to wonder what is my actual voice. I'm always talking like someone else. Then I stopped it. Then the moment you start doing mimicry and other things, people recognize you with other people. So your
yeah,
own brand gets lost. So I stopped doing it. But yeah, but there are two, three go-to names which I easily do, and
yeah,
I can do one, two, three. I used to do singers a lot
yeah.
in my college days. So there is Raghu Dikshit, which I used to do, and it gonna. ನಿನ್ನ ಪೂಜೆಗೆ ಬಂದೆ ಮಾದೇಶ್ವರ ಎನ್ನ ಕರುಣದಿ ಕಾಯೋ ಮಾದೇಶ್ವರ.
Okay,
Yeah,
quite close. Absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
Raghu Dikshit, and then I used to do Adnan Sami.
Hmm.
Hmm. Mola,
Okay.
मुझको भी तो लिफ्ट करा दे थोड़ी सी तो लिफ्ट करा दे मुझको एरोप्लेन दिला दे दुनिया भर की सैर करा दे सबों को दिया सबों को दिया है मुझको भी तो लिफ्ट करा दे थोड़ी सी तो लिफ्ट करा दे.
Nice. Actually, this was like very close. If I just close my eyes and then,
Yeah.
it just felt like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm out of practice, but yeah, I mean, it needs a certain, a certain. It's different in mics and it's different on phones and other things. So yeah, there's a skill attached to it, and then the more you practice, the better you get at it. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Pradyumna, I'm actually asking this question to everyone to wind up. Like we have heard about you and spoken about everything. What do you think as of Asamanya, and what do you think of me as a host? How was I as a host? Now, this is a question that I'm asking because like it's almost like in-show feedback of myself, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah,
improve.
yeah, yeah, yeah. See, this is a very good concept. Like talking to I'd say non-celebrity celebrity types. Like, we're all achievers at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, even a homemaker is an achiever. She is the best multitasker ever. My mother is the best achiever ever because she dedicates her whole life for the family. So each one of us are always doing something or the other. We're always pushing our limits. We're always improving our skills. We're improving our skill sets. So it's very important that we recognize the small things, the small achievements in our lives. It's not just the people who get the maximum likes on Facebook or
Yes.
Insta as achievers. It's not the people, because I used to do Weekend with Ramesh. People used to ask why only those people come and sit on the achievers chair, and why are we not the achievers? It's the most common question which we get. But everybody is an achiever. But that doesn't mean that everybody can come and get to sit on that chair. So it's different, but not every platform will be able to recognize everybody. So it's very important that we do with common people doing something more than what other people could do, or more than the comparison. It's just about people who handle challenges in a certain way, and if it's gonna inspire somebody else, like out of 100 people who watch this, if even two people get inspired, then that's the job well done. I think you're doing a very good job out of it, and then you're identifying good people. I got to experience a couple of episodes, though I think you're not officially launched. You had sent me a couple,
Yeah.
and
Yes, I do.
it was very good. It was very refreshing, and I got to know about two personalities. So I'll be looking forward to for you to launch and listen to more such personalities, whomever. So basically, you need to put in all the positivity as much as you can. You need to ooze positivity, ooze optimism. So you are doing a great job of recognizing not so celebrated achievers,
Yeah.
and talking to them, and trying to, like, even if 100 people are watching it, even if two people get inspired out of anybody's story, I think that's a job well done from your end. So you're identifying good people, and you're being very sweet and very cooperative in talking to them and trying to figure out a time, because you have your time zone time, those challenges, and then you've been very accommodative, and you're generally a nice person to talk to. So you're doing a
Thank
great
you so
job.
much.
So I hope and wish that this podcast journey of yours goes big, and may it get you more fame, name, and positivity in life from
Thank you so
everybody.
much. Thank you so much, Pradyumna. It was really
Pleasure,
wonderful
pleasure.
having you here because there are things that I knew about you, but there are much more that I learned about you on the show. It was like
Yeah.
really amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity, and may this journey grow well and big. All the best.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so that was Pradyumna Narahalli on Asamanya today. So next week we have another personality here talking about his or her journey, and who could it be? Keep guessing and then keep watching Asamanya and stay tuned. Please like, follow, and subscribe the channel. We'll meet you again next week with another personality here on Asamanya, Ordinary People in Ordinate Journey.